Welcome back to the channel. It's a new month, so you know I had to drop my newest NBA tier rankings video for you guys. And if you watched my very first tier ranking video that dropped before the season began, then you know to expect every month a new NBA ranking video where we put every single NBA team and see which tiers they're in as the season goes along. Finally! Here's a pic of the official preseason rankings of that video. Yeah, I know. But that's besides the point. Subscribe if you're new, leave a like, and let's get right into the video. Before we get into the video, I want to go over the tiers that will be used to rank all 30 NBA teams because some of these tiers have changed from my very first video that I posted last month. The S tier, contenders. If the season ended today, these teams would be the favorites to win it all. These teams have looked the best this early into the season and should be on everyone's radar moving forward, even though the season just started. Yeah, I know. Please don't kill me. The A tier, missing something. These teams are missing something. It's self-explanatory. Whether it be an injury or a trade, these teams are one step below the contending teams in my opinion and are missing something. The B tier, sleepers. This is a new tier, and these are the teams that many people don't believe are true contenders, but to me, there is something about this team that makes them much better than they appear. Essentially, don't sleep on these ball clubs. Then shouldn't the tier be non-sleepers? Or teams you shouldn't sleep on? The C tier, maybe. These teams are in the middle of the pack and have few questions that need to be answered. Can they make the playoffs? Maybe. Will they be in the lottery? Maybe. You see what I mean? Teams whose seasons can go in either direction. The D tier, soon but not yet. Like in my last video, these teams aren't as good as most teams but will be soon but not yet. And of course the F tier, the Chet Holmgren sweepstakes. Yeah, these teams just go ahead and need a tank and go ahead and get you a 7-footer that can shoot you off the dribble and drive to the basket. Yeah, go get you a Chet. Yeah, go get him. All right, let's get right into the video. So the Sixers, first team, missing something. This team is 8-3 without Ben Simmons, so the entire team has been doing their job. I think the biggest question for the Sixers right now, do you trade Ben Simmons or do you continue playing along with this guy? I think they need to go ahead and trade him because you guys can obviously add another piece to your team and really help your chances of actually making it to the NBA Finals because the Eastern Conference is deep this year. And I think that right now, Tobias Harris is in health and safety protocols. Joel Embiid is about to enter health and safety protocols. So the next two stretch of games for the Sixers is going to be very tough without their two best players. So that's going to be a problem. But I think the main question at hand is if they can get something for Ben Simmons or if Ben Simmons comes back, which I think is highly unlikely, this team can potentially be a favorite to go to the NBA Finals for the Eastern Conference. But we'll see. But right now, the Sixers have looked really good, and we'll see how they go moving forward. The next team, Washington Wizards. I think they're sleepers, and I think a lot of y'all are going to call me crazy, but let me explain. The Wizards somehow stayed competitive, and Bradley Beal is still doing what Bradley Beal does. Montrezl Harrell looks like the sixth man of the year, the LA Clipper, not the LA Laker, the Clipper. He's looking dominant in that area. Spencer Dinwiddie as well, coming in as a secondary ball handler for this team, has done primarily a fairly good job. And I think that Kyle Kuzma and KCP and all the pieces that they added in have done exceptionally well for what you brought them in for in their roles. I haven't even mentioned Roy Hachimura. He's not back yet. And Thomas Bryant isn't even back yet. Are they going to win the NBA championship? No, I don't think so. But I do think we got to give these guys some credit. We'll see how they go moving forward because it's only the first few games of the year. They're a competitive team you have to look out for. You can't sleep on the Wizards, and hey, they look good. Next team, the Hawks. Man, maybe? And I hate to do this for the Hawks because what they did last year, let's not underrate what they did. But coming into this new season, teams aren't playing with the Hawks. They understand how good of a talent Trae Young is and how good this team is. But I think that because of how young they are too, their second half woes have been killing them. The Hawks, I think they'll improve going on into the season. But if we're going to go through the first few games, like I said, for this ranking, we got to be fair. And I think they're a maybe right now. Next team, Cleveland. Maybe. Now look. Cleveland is good. Cleveland is a very good team. I just watched Ricky Rubio drop 37 to 39 on the New York Knicks. I don't know if I was watching a reincarnation of 05 Steve Nash. I don't know, but Ricky Rubio looked great. And Evan Mobley, before I even get to Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, like, whoa. This team, defensively, they look really good. They played very well. My question now is, Colin Sexton, torn meniscus, he was aggressive offensively for this team. And my question now is, can they keep this up? That's the main question for me. Because the Cavaliers, they seem like a young team that's going to be competitive, but will they keep this up? And I think that they will. Evan Mobley, I ain't gonna lie to you. That man looks. Nah, let me not do that. But he's playing very well defensively. I like the Cavs. I want to see what happens going forward from this point on because I think they can continue to be a good team in the Eastern Conference. But let's see what happens. Detroit Pistons. Yeah, I hate to do it. Before I even begin this, all you guys saying Cade is a bust, shut up. Just shut up, bro. Like, come on, get out.
Out of here with that shit.
Okay.
The Pistons, their team just isn't as good as other teams. It's just that simple. Their best player, Jeremy Grant, shooting under 40% from the field right now. And yes, he has some good games, but still, your best player can't shoot under 40%. And Cade is coming off an injury, and this is his first few runs the NBA. He didn't have a preseason, and he was injured. So the Pistons are still rebuilding. They got ways to go. Maybe they can change it going on into the, season. But right now, yeah, just Chet Holmgren and Cade Cunningham pick and rolls. Hey, man, you never know. That could be something. Next team, Indiana Pacers. I think I'm cheating, but I'm going to say maybe. Because this is my thing with the Pacers. When they're healthy, we'll really see what the Pacers can do. Because right now, they're missing Brogdon. They're missing TJ Warren. They're two, I don't know. Maybe by the next few games, we'll know what the team really is. But they have two things that they could do. I'll say this, two things. One, wait for everybody to get healthy. I don't know when TJ Warren will be back, maybe in December. Brogdon will be back soon. I think he'll be back soon, hopefully. And see how they perform. Because I think when they're healthy, they're a team that can really, be a sleeper like the Wizards. But if they continue to go on the downstretch and they can't get things situated how they want to win games and stuff, they have literally every single piece a championship team wants. Miles Turner, Brogdon, they can go sell the entire franchise and tank. So I don't know what the Pacers want to do. I don't know. I'm high on them. Maybe I'm wrong in them right now, but I can't put them as a Chet Holmgren sweepstakes or soon but not yet. They're right in the middle of the pack to me. The Bucks, Milwaukee Bucks, missing something. Look, this is pretty much simple. The Bucks have been injured. They've been having guys sent into health and safety protocol. This isn't the Bucks that we're seeing that are going to be the Bucks in the next few months. But I will say right now, they need their guys. They need their guys to be healthy and well positioned for their next championship run. Do I think the Bucks are sleepers or no? Their record doesn't show it, but when they're healthy, they're going to be okay. Yeah, Giannis haters, yeah, nice try. It's just not happening. Sorry. The next team, the Toronto Raptors. I'm gonna put them in sleepers. Actually, wait, no, maybe. Actually, maybe. I'll do maybe. To begin the season, the Raptors didn't have Pascal Siakam, and the Scotty Barnes stepped up. The rookie, 4th overall pick this year, averaging 18-9 in his first 2 games. Still the favorites in Rookie of the Year at this moment, but he's looked really, really good. You add in the fact you still have Van Vliet, Gary Trent, snipers who can shoot the ball. OG Anunoby, who's great defensively, has also looked good offensively at times during the first few moments of this season. And now you have Pascal Siakam coming back. So offensively and defensively, this team is only going to get better. Now, will this continue? I think the Raptors are good enough to where I believe that going into this new season, as the season goes along, they'll get better. And eventually they'll move into the sleeper category, but time will tell, basically, because you never know what could happen. Because last year we thought the same thing, and yeah, they were in the lottery. But we'll see what happens with the Raptors. I have faith in what they'll do going on forward in this season. Next team, Dallas Mavericks. If you have Luka Doncic, you're going to be a good team off rip because he's just that nice. Jalen Brunson, I like what they did with Jalen Brunson. The fact he's averaging 15 points per game. He's a secondary ball handler that can be used on this team. And now that Luka, if he wants to rest, you have a guy who, I'm not saying he's going to be Luka Doncic, but he's doing his job to what you need him to do. Tim Hardaway's being what Tim Hardaway always does. And my question to this day is always going to remain on Kristaps Porzingis. He's your second option by default to get the most out of this franchise, the most out of what you can do with Luka Doncic. If Kristaps Porzingis can get back to the level of averaging 23 points per game, then look, hey, you guys can be even better, but we'll leave it at that. Next team, Denver Nuggets. Y'all tell me when Nikola Jokic turned into no, never mind. Let's not even get into that. Look, missing something. Now, I know you guys are probably going to look at the record, but the record means nothing to me at this point. I'm looking at what the teams are doing. I think that the Nuggets have a guy who could win MVP again in Nikola Jokic. Their second best player, Jamal Murray, is going to come back this year from ACL injury. And the third best player, Michael Porter Jr., is underperforming. It's just that simple. You paid him how much money again? I actually made this graphic and I told them, like, look, but he's got to play better. And I think he's injured at the moment. I don't know if he actually injured himself missing a layup. Oh my God. The Nuggets, you could say that they're a sleeper team. They're not a maybe because they have a talented Nikola Jokic and he's just that nice. I think that once you get these guys back, this team is clearly a contender. And I just think that you just got to wait for these guys to get back. I think they're better than the sleepers. I won't push them down. I know a lot of people may go in the comment section and say that the Nuggets, you can't, that's not fair, but it's my video. I'll do what I want to do. Sorry, guys. Next team, Memphis Grizzlies. Sleepers. Ladies and gentlemen, John Morant has arrived. John Morant, every single night, I'm hearing, like, John Morant's doing something crazy. If it's getting, like, the way he gets to the basket is so shifty. If you look at what the Memphis Grizzlies are doing, their pick and rolls aren't even like regular pick and rolls. Like, it's so crafty because John Morant is he has the ability to get to the basket in any way possible, any shape or form. It's a coming out party for John Morant. And they're doing all of this without Dillon Brooks, who could be said their second best player on the team. Desmond Bane has stepped up. Jaren Jackson Jr., if he can even play a little bit more better than what I said more better. Is that actually good grammar? I don't know. Yeah, I don't. If he could play a little bit better, then this team could even be, who knows? But I do think that this team right now, they've performed very, very well, and it's led by John Morant right now. And I think if he keeps up this level of play, the Grizzlies are going to be in a great position to be in the playoffs, and not the play-in tournament, but the playoffs. Is what I'm saying. Next team, Timberwolves. Maybe. Now look, I said this from the jump. The Timberwolves talent of their big three, Anthony Edwards, Karl-Anthony Towns, and D'Angelo Russell, they're good. But you can have good players, but if you can't put it all together, there's no point in having all those good players. I think the biggest problem right now is D'Angelo Russell's inconsistency. But at the end of the day, when I talk about this team, if they don't get it together, the question mark now relies on, do you trade Cat? And I know people keep saying they're not going to trade Cat, there's no point in trading Cat, but Cat has trade value. And a lot of teams will go after Karl-Anthony Towns because they know how great of a talent he is. And you also have Anthony Edwards, you could put people together. Like, it's early. We'll see how it goes. But I do think that the win columns, they need to start playing better on the win columns. And it's going to be a hard stretch going forward now because the next two games are against some Western Conference top tier teams. And we'll see. But the question mark relies on the Timberwolves. They're such a good team. They should be up here, but we'll see. The season just started. We'll see what happens. The Spurs, San Antonio Spurs, soon but not yet. Soon but not yet. I want to give credit to DeJounte Murray. He's looked good so far in this season. A lot of people aren't talking about him. Like, he was one of the X factors that I said for this team. I said in my Western Conference X Factor video at the beginning of the season, DeJounte Murray has to play good for this team to perform to the highest expectations. And of course, they're not a top tier team in the Western Conference. I don't think they're going to be a team that's like a playoff team, but I like what he's doing. And I think that the Spurs, at the end of the day, what matters most is you performing well during the season, seeing guys perform well. And we've been seeing that from this team, and I'll give them their credit. The next team, Utah Jazz. I got them up here. I have to. Now, I said in my last video, look, again, before y'all tweak, because I know y'all gonna tweak, this is the first few games of the season. Please, look, we're overreacting. It's okay. Just relax. Please, just relax. But in my first video, I said the Utah Jazz were missing something, and I thought it was defense. And I said that Rudy Gobert is your second option. I don't know if I trust it. And to this day, I still don't. But I will say the Utah Jazz defense has played a little bit better. They're one of the top 10 in points allowed and points, field goal percentage, and opponents' 3-point percentage. They're top 10 defensively in that area. So they're making it hard on their opponents to score the basketball. And that's important. We know that this team can get shots open from three. They know they have Donovan Mitchell, who can go off for bunches of points. And Rudy Gobert, even though he's not a great offensive talent, we know he's going to be efficient when it's time for him to get to the basket. I trust the offense of the Utah Jazz. Only problem I did not trust is their defense. And their defense has looked a lot better. So please bear with me when I say they have a chance of being the best team right now in the league right now. Now again, it's the first few games of the season. Don't tweak. This could change literally by tomorrow. But right now, Utah looks really, really good. The next team, Los Angeles Clippers. Maybe. I told y'all about this team. I told y'all. Now, we've seen Paul George go nuts. He's been deep in his bag. Like, I'm talking like KD type bag. Like, he might be in that conversation. Y'all, hey, look. The Clippers, at the end of the day, their season could go either direction. I think that Paul George, it all falls on Paul George, literally. If Paul George has a bad game, they're losing that game. If Paul George has a good game, they still got to rely on his team to help him out. And I just don't believe in it. I will say the Clippers defense is a little bit better, but I just feel like Paul George is having a phenomenal season. Again, this is just the first few games of the season. We'll see what happens. But I'm not high on the Clippers right now. I'm not going to be high on the Clippers until maybe somebody has another breakout game. But I just feel like the Clippers are where they need to be, and their season could go in any direction. They could be a play-in team. So remember, like, the maybes could be play-in teams. Like, they could make the playoffs. They also could be at home. So that's where I think the Clippers are at. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. Simple as that. I don't know. Y'all tell me in the comment section. The next team, the Phoenix Suns. Now, I know their roster, they just made it to the NBA Finals. I know they're good, but I'm going to put them in missing something for right now. And I think that this can change as the season goes along. They'll be one of the best teams in the Western Conference because with the roster that they have with Devin Booker, Chris Paul, like, we know what this team has. We know how good they are. To begin the season, one of the few reasons why they're not in that tier with the Utah Jazz, I think that the defense hasn't been as sharp as it once was last year. And this may be due to the fact that, you know, they're bringing in new pieces like Landry Shamet, McGee. Some guys have been out, like DeAndre Ayton, who's out with a leg injury. We don't know when he's going to be back. Like, they haven't set a timetable yet, so that's a problem. Who knows when he's going to be back? And the Suns aren't as sharp, but they're still a talented team that you have to look out for. And I think that as the season goes along, again, they'll find their way, and they'll be one of the few teams that you have to look out for again as they make a run to go back to the NBA Finals. The next team, the Portland Trail Blazers. I know how I feel about this team. Look, the Blazers, if you would have asked me would they make the playoffs, probably yeah. Would they go anything farther than the first round? No. I don't have any faith in them. I think the biggest storyline for the team right now is the fact that Damian Lillard can't buy a bucket, and he's not shooting as well as he has in his entire career. And that's going to be a problem, of course. They're 5-5, right middle in the pack, where we expect them to be every single year. Like, it's the Blazers at the end of the day. I will say that I think as the season goes along, they'll find their footing. Dame isn't going to shoot that poorly the entire year. And I think that as they get on with this season, they'll end up being in a sleeper team where they'll make the playoffs. Right now, who knows? Because this is the Blazers that we're talking about right now. Look, literally, they are a maybe team. Like no, like they're in the middle of the pack. Let's move on, please. The next team, Sacramento Kings. Look, soon but not yet. I put y'all in that same tier last video, and I think that you guys have a young core. You guys play hard. Y'all play good. But I do think that I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to command that level of respect to where I put you guys in the play-in tournament teams or even a maybe team. I think that you guys are on your way. You guys are on your way there. And this is just the first few games of the season. Who knows what could happen? But I know one thing for sure. Davion Mitchell, that rookie that you guys drafted, that man might be a top 5 defender in the league like by the end of the year. I ain't gonna lie. He is nuts on defense. Like, y'all go look at his clips. And I do think that De'Aaron Fox, Tyrese Halliburton, that backcourt is completely fine. I don't know. You guys are good, but I don't want to put you guys in a conversation of playoffs yet until I see how far you guys can do, see how well you guys can do going on into the season. So we'll leave you guys there for now. New York Knicks, man, oh man, are you guys contenders or missing something? I feel like I'm going to put you guys as sleepers, and I know I know. I'm sorry. Look, I just don't know yet. I need to see more. I like I'll say this. I like what I see. I like what I see from the Knicks. I like what I see. You guys have some good wins. I want to see what you guys do moving forward. Because I do, like I said before, picking up Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier were solid pickups by this team. The Knicks are 7-4 right now. And the entire Eastern Conference is literally packed up from 2 to 7. They all look good. But I'm going to keep you guys in the sleeper teams right now for sure. But you guys have been kind of impressive to begin the season so far. We'll see what you guys do. The next team, the New Orleans Pelicans. Like, come on, bro. Y'all are dogs. I mean, at the end of the day, you guys aren't playing without Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson. And I think that if you guys are 1-10 right now, the worst team in the Western Conference at this moment, you guys might as well think about not even playing Zion Williamson this entire year. And that goes on to say, well, this isn't good. This isn't good at all. And I think that we got to start talking about the fact that maybe a trade for Brandon Ingram might be suitable for this team. And tanking is probably the best option right now. Go get you Chet Holmgren, I guess. I don't know, like New Orleans. Actually, don't get Chet Holmgren because then you guys are gonna ruin his career. Like, wait a minute, don't do anything. Actually, there's Charlotte Hornets. Hey, look, maybe. And this is weird because the Hornets, when they began the season, literally Bleacher Report, ESPN, everybody was talking about how the Hornets are like one of the best teams. And I was like, okay, yeah, they're looking good. You have Miles Bridges averaging 30 points per game. LaMelo's doing crazy stuff. And then they go on a 5-game losing streak. And this is to be expected. Like, let's not overboost the Hornets. The Hornets are a good young team, fun team. Defensively, they're one of the worst teams. Offensively, they're one of the best teams because they have LaMelo Ball. They're a good team in that area. They're gonna fluctuate. They're a team that's gonna play good and play bad and have their moments where they look dumb and have their moments where they look great. But the Hornets, I think that at the end of the season, they're gonna be in a conversation to make the play-in tournament, potentially maybe the playoffs. But I think right now we're forcing too much on this team and let this team just grow in its own right. They're gonna play competitively. They've had their good moments, but this is what we do with young teams. Let them grow. But right now, there's a lot of question marks on what they'll do going on forward in the season. Let's see what they do. Next up, my team, the Houston Rockets. Oh my God. Look. The Rockets' record says 1-9. I know it looks really bad, but this team has performed very well in their road trip against some of the top teams in the Western Conference. The Lakers, Suns, Nuggets, Warriors. They've had some good moments, but they're in that same tier with the Pistons and Pelicans. When you're a young team, they lead the league in turnovers. That's going to happen, especially with a young backcourt in Kevin Porter Jr. and Jalen Green. But as time goes along, I think this team will get better. And I think that the improvement of Jalen Green will be seen because if you've watched him play, he has the ability to get to the basket and score the ball. It's just being a little bit more efficient. The same can be said with Kevin Porter Jr. and Christian Wood. If he can perform like he did last year and average 20 and 10, they'll be a lot better. But right now, to begin the season, I might have to buy myself a Chet Holmgren jersey. I'm not gonna lie. How much is that gonna cost? Next up, the Miami Heat. Now, I was very close to putting them to missing something over the last few games because the last few games they haven't looked as good as they did to begin the first few games of the season. But the Miami Heat defensively, they're easily one of the best teams defensively in the league right now. I will say that adding in Kyle Lowry sped up their offense. Jimmy Butler has been a little bit better offensively too. And Tyler Hero coming off the bench, proving people wrong. He's in conversations to be 6th man of the year. I know his last few games haven't been as great, but when Tyler Hero is cooking, the Miami Heat offense is also cooking as well. And I think that their defense, again, they have a lot of guys who they can switch and play hard, physical defense with. And with the rule changes that were added in this year, it only allows them to play even more physical, and they're not letting any ticky-tacky fouls happen, which means you can get up in people's jersey. And this is exactly what the Miami Heat love to do. Play defense, play hard. But from what we saw from the first few games of the season, we cannot deny what we saw. It's just that simple. And look, like I said before, first 10 to 11 games for these NBA teams. What we saw is what I'm ranking right now. Miami looks like a favorite. Like the defense, their offense, we'll see what's going forward. Next up, Chicago Bulls. Most certainly a favorite. Like, look, Chicago is a problem. Look, DeRozan having a career year. Levine doing what Levine always does. The Chicago Bulls defense looks great. I think the one question mark on the Bulls right now is Vucevic. If Vucevic can get back into his rhythm, the Bulls are going to be dangerous. They've had some very, very high caliber wins so far to begin the season. I think you have to respect the Bulls. And I think I put them as the first round exit last time. I don't remember, but I think they're the main favorites over the Heat right now in the Eastern Conference. The Brooklyn Nets. Look, they're missing something. And what they're missing is Kyrie Irving's vaccination record. It's literally just that simple, guys. Like, they just need him on the court. Look, the Brooklyn Nets, with KD having an MVP caliber season after coming off an Achilles injury, James Harden, first few games, kind of rocky, but I think that people questioning James Harden's talent is like, come on now, like, this guy is James Harden. But I do think that at the end of the day, Kyrie Irving is that much of a difference maker for this team. Without Kyrie Irving, do I think they can make it to the NBA Finals? Absolutely. Kevin Durant, James Harden, they can do it. But with Kyrie Irving, it's a totally different team. They're missing something. We all know what it is. We all know what it is. It's that simple. Next team, OKC Thunder. Soon but not yet. Fam, Shai, whatever you want to call that man is a goon. The fact that they beat the Lakers twice. I know the Lakers, we'll get to the Lakers. We're gonna get to the Lakers. But I like this team is good. I like the team a lot. I like the fact that they picked up Josh Giddey, Lou Dort, defender. Like, this team is young. Do I think they're gonna be in the playoffs? No, I don't think that. But like I said, with all the teams in that category, with the Spurs and Kings, within time, let's see what you guys are doing, and we'll see what you guys can do moving forward. But I like what I've seen so far. I like what I've seen so far from the team. Next team, Golden State Warriors. I told y'all in the last video, don't be surprised. And what do you see? Best record in the NBA, best offense, damn near best defense, and they don't have Klay Thompson or James Wiseman. Steph Curry just had 50 last night. This team is a problem. And I don't want to be that guy where, again, the season just began. We got to chill a little bit. But the Warriors look exceptional. I like the Warriors, man. I don't know what to tell you. The Warriors look good. Like, we'll see. We'll see what happens moving forward. Next team, Boston Celtics. Next team, Boston Celtics. Maybe. I don't know what's wrong with the Celtics. I think that right now, question marks are coming in with trades, and I've always said to myself, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, these two guys, I always felt that if you have those two guys on your team and add another piece, you can definitely be in a missing something category. But it seems like every other game, either one person has a good game or the other person doesn't. And it's just like, I don't know. I think Jason and Jaylen can be a duo, but I think right now the pieces around them just aren't going to cut it. But again, can Tatum and Jason, can they both play better? Yes, they can. And I think that they will as the season goes along. But again, season just began. We'll see what happens going forward. Our second to last team, the Lakers, they're missing something. And I know a lot of people want to keep saying that the Lakers are not going to make it to the playoffs. Like, I don't think it's that bad. I think that the Lakers right now, they're going to miss LeBron James for 1 to 2 months. Apparently 1 month expected. But they're also missing a lot of guys on their bench, such as Wayne Ellington, who's a sharpshooter. They're missing Talen Horton-Tucker, who's meant to be a defender on their team. Kendrick Nunn, another guy who can go get a bucket. Ariza, who's meant to be a defensive add length to the team. Do I think that all those bench pieces are meant to make their team a contender? No, but I do think that it provides defense that the team already lacks right now because they're not playing good defense. One big issue too is Westbrook. Westbrook's inefficiency is a problem, and his decision-making in clutch moments is a big problem. Westbrook is gonna have to get that right. Number one, he's got to get that right. Because when Westbrook is playing his best moments, because he has some good moments to begin the season, look really, really good. And the Lakers, when he's playing good with AD and LeBron, they're no question the best team in the Western Conference. AD's got to be healthy, of course. and play like a top 10 talent in the league. And Westbrook has to be more controlled if they're going to continue winning games. Melo shooting the ball crazy efficiently is also a big plus. And I think that when they get those other guys who are meant to play defense and also provide some more offense for this team, the Lakers will be okay. And if they don't, they're all going to get traded. No cap. You guys will all get traded before February 14th. Y'all better get y'all shit together, bro. Orlando Magic. Hey, last team, of course, but I got to give them credit to the Orlando Magic. Hey, now, of course, their team is not the best team in the, like, they're not one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. But I will say they've looked really, really good. I think you guys will end up in the Chet Holmgren sweepstakes. But to begin the season, you guys have shown some promise to where I can say, okay, it's a lot of things I've seen from your team that I'm excited to see moving forward. Maybe you guys can put it together and hopefully continue it, and let's see what happens. That concludes my November edition of my NBA tier rankings. Now, again, before y'all start going crazy, listen, it's the first few games of the season. Don't trip. We're going to go over this again. If you guys want me to do it every week or every other week, go ahead and let me know in the comment section. But expect a video at least every month where we'll go over every single NBA team and see which teams rise and fall in my tiers. Again, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe if you're new. We're almost at 750 subscribers, which means we're almost that close to 1,000 subscribers. We're almost there. Let's try to get to it. Road to 1K. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Until next time, stay on beat.